Right, good morning. Slightly different style of movement that we're going to do today, rather than kind of the vinyasa kind of flow stuff that we've done, or the yin long held poses, or the flowy stuff. We're going to do a bit of pawenuktasana. This is from the Satchitananda kind of school of Bahir, school of yoga. I've got it here. And this is kind of used quite often for rehab and yoga therapy, and just generally this is the perfect way to explore your body and you to understand and kind of find a proprioceptive knowledge of what's going on in your body. So it's not quick, it's not fast, it's not invigorating as such, kind of like you might have found in some of the other videos I've done, but it's really a great way to just tune into your body and use your breath to guide you and feel into what is working in your body and what isn't. So we shall get ourselves started. Find yourself on the mat, legs out in front, a little bit like so. So basically pawenuktasana translates as wind releasing poses. We'll come on to that in a moment. So we're going to start with the toes, and then we're going to work through the toes, the ankles, the knees, the hips, up to our shoulders and bits and pieces. So start by sitting in what is kind of pretty much Dandasana, our staff pose, sitting upright. You can use your hands behind you to keep a long straight spine. We're starting with the toes. Just begin to sit there, pull your thighs on a little bit, and then see if you can pull your toes up toward your sort of the feet up towards you, but rather than just pulling the big toes in like that, which is quite often what we do, can you pull both sets of big and little toes in? Close the eyes. Inhale, curl the toes in. Exhale, roll the toes back up. Inhale, curl the toes in. Exhale, curl the toes back up. Inhale in. Exhale up. Inhale in. Exhale up. Two more times like this. Try to breathe down into the belly. Try to feel the whole body expand, exhaling. And try to make each movement of the toes last as long as your breath. You really tune into which parts of your feet and legs move as your toes move. Final exhale here. Taking it slightly bigger to include the whole ankles. Inhale, point the toes. Tuning to your shins and the backs of the legs, the thighs, your tummy, which parts move. Exhale. Push those ankles, those heels away. Pull the toes back in towards your nose. Inhale and point the toes away. Exhale, pull those toes back towards your nose. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, pull the toes back. Inhale. Exhaling. 3 more of these. So wind releasing poses comes from the idea of shifting the trapped sort of vital life force or sort of energies, the prana, from around your body. So it doesn't mean your gas and your farts, although there is a pose called wind releasing pose which does work on the belly, which we'll come to in a bit. Final one. But instead shifting the stagnant energy that's stuck in our bodies. Just take your feet slightly wider to allow them some space to roll in. So once we're sitting here, we're just going to begin to roll the ankles in. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, half a circle. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, half a circle. And as we do this, another 8 more little circles. We're trying to keep the legs as stable and still as we can, just rolling through the ankles. Obviously that's absolutely impossible to just completely isolate the feet, because your feet are attached to your everything, and the way your fascial network and matrix connects everything means that any movement through your ankles, you're going to feel. If you were to place your hands onto the fronts of your shins, you can feel that anterior tibialis, that muscle running down the front of your shin, having to work, and obviously that then affects how everything up here is working. So don't worry about things moving a little bit, but just try to concentrate on the ankle, breathing into that. Take the feet in the other direction, 10 circles. Maybe begin to feel the odd click and crack through those feet as things begin to shift, as tensions begin to unwind. Still slowly breathing in for half a circle, out for half a circle. Three more. Remember, you can keep the hands behind your back to help your back if you feel like it gets a bit too much sitting upright. Final one. Good. Bring the knees up, the feet up towards your bum a little bit. Hands can come under the thighs. So again, we've moved from the toes, the ankles, moving up towards the knees now. So one leg at a time. We're going to inhale, straighten the leg, push the heel forward, straighten the knee, tune into what works in the leg. Exhale, pull that leg back in. Inhale, the opposite leg, straightening, pulling toes, pushing heel forward, engaging thigh, feeling the muscles work. Exhale, come back in. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. So this is how, if you suffer from kind of niggles and pains and aches and bits and pieces in your body which don't feel like they work properly, this is a really good way to tune in and actually gently explore your ranges of motion, and maybe just try to press slightly around those grey areas of your body and where they move, playing into them, allowing your kind of intention and your attention to come to the spots which normally don't want to be kind of touched into, and you're not trying to force anything, you're not trying to push your way into a greater range, you're just trying to allow a bit of space with a careful, considered, intelligent breath to move your tissues. Final one on each side. Remember, it's an inhale as long as the leg goes out, it's an exhale as long as the leg comes in. Bring the feet down into a little butterfly pose. So again, this isn't an Ashtanga, Baddha Konasana. We're not trying to have feet up here. Have them a little bit soft. Allow the tissues some space. If you need them further forward, take them further forward. There's never a right or wrong place to do it. You're just wanting to explore your body and allow the tissues some space to relax. Gently begin to allow the feet and the knees to rock. You'll notice that my feet are moving too, and I'm doing this of course because as my hips are bouncing, it's going to affect everything. It's going to affect how my back is doing. If you were to hold your back, you'd probably feel a little engagement on and off through parts of your spine. You're going to feel your tummy being engaged. Again, 10 slow, steady breaths. Halfway there. just whichever part of your body that you're focusing on at the time, whether it be your toes, your hips, your knees. Obviously you can't really breathe into your hips. Your breath is never going to actually physically move to your hips, but you can bring your focus there as if it did. Bring your attention there, bring a positive intention to release and let go of some of that tension that you hold. Prana moves where attention goes, so where you shift your attention, so you're going to bring that life force energy in, and as we bring it into our hips, we're gently bouncing for 2 more breaths. It allows us to just break through some of this stagnant air, stagnant chi or prana which is sitting there. Slowly sit yourself up. Going to gently bring that left leg out in front. Right leg pulls in towards the chest. Pull your right toes up towards your nose. Slide your left hand under your right foot. Right hand to right knee. Again, try to make sure your knee stays closed. You pull your toes up. So you can see my ankle here. No wrinkles. If I was to do this, you can't quite see it there because the angle of the camera, but it starts to wrinkle up there. So try to remain having that toe pulled there, the knee pulled in here. This leg stays active too, because then as we pick this leg up, we come into our hip crank. It allows us to explore through our hip rather than doing this, which isn't our hip. This is our ankle, this is our knee, this is our hip. So again, this leg stays active, the left leg stays active to allow you to keep your sits bones, your pelvis fixed to the floor. And as your pelvis stays fixed to the floor, it becomes easier to then move this hip rather than doing this and the whole pelvis is moving. Try to keep it nice and stiff. You can also take this as an internal rotation, bearing in mind we're trying to explore the whole range. So take your hand to your foot, your right hand to your foot, and then you can turn the leg inwards, and then we begin to rotate this leg coming inwards. So again, you can explore through that range of motion too. Slow, steady breaths. There's the options of like the half lotus type position. Again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless it's something you practice regularly and just being careful of your knees. There's the half pawenuktasana, trying to find the full ranges of motion through this whole side. You could potentially then bring your leg into the back of your arm. Again, your left leg is still active, remember, still breathing, gently pressing that leg back. Obviously, this is not for everyone, but this is a nice opportunity. You've got the space to pop your head behind your leg, behind your head. Again, maybe not today, but that's where we get to as our body opens. Right leg comes down, left leg comes in. Again, draw it in, pull the toes up, right hand under, left foot, left hand to left knee. And again, we gently move, breathing. Slight caveat on that leg behind the head then. Don't try it, please. Unless you are fully aware of your range of motion. That was me being silly. That wasn't for something for you to try. And when I say that's where we get to eventually, you probably won't. There's a strong chance you will never get to that stage if your hips are not made, if you've not grown in a way that your acetabulum, the part of your hip socket and the head of your femur and the neck of your femur grow in a specific way, then the chances are you might not never get your leg behind your head, and that's not overly important. I'm not sure, however old you are at this point, you've ever needed to put your leg behind your head. So if you haven't up to this point, there's not a strong chance you're going to need to, so don't stress about it. Internal rotation again, moving this hip through. And again, maybe you take that idea of a half lotus. If you do, still try to keep that ankle wrinkleless, because then that's going to mean that we're opening from the hip rather than doing this and just opening, pushing through the ankle and the knee. Again, we've also got the half pawenuktasana type affair that you can move into to lengthen down through there. roll that leg out in front and give yourself a little shake out, shake the knees and legs out. Now you can either stay sitting legs out in front. If you find it more comfortable to sit cross-legged, then I'm going to move into a cross-legged position for the upper body. So as we sit tall, we're going to take our hands out in front first. So inhale, hands out in front, like we did with the toes. Inhale, close the fingers. Exhale, open the fingers. Inhale. Exhaling. Try closing the eyes. Tune into exactly which parts of your hands, your forearms, your shoulders, fingers are having to work to do this simple movement. Notice how much of your body has to do something to just move your fingers. Notice how heavy your arms are becoming. One more time through this. Fingers stay upright. On your next exhale, point your fingers down towards the mat. Inhale, draw them back up and pull them gently up towards your face. Not too much, just exploring your range of motion. Exhale, push them down. Again, exploring your range of motion through here. Maybe you feel a little bit of compression down through hip. Inhale. Exhaling. 3 more. 2 more. Good. Make fists with the hands. We're just going to gently roll the wrists. And again, it's half a circle in, half a circle out. Maybe if after this set your arms are feeling a bit too heavy, a bit too painful and tired, then you can always shake them out. I'm going to not do mine, but if you feel like you need to, you can always do yours. And again, whilst we can't eliminate all of the movement through the arm, we're trying to notice that it's the wrists moving. Take the wrists back in the opposite direction. Again, maybe you hear the odd click, crack, snap, pop through the wrist as you do this. Three more. You notice your intention and your attention freeing up the wrists a little bit, maybe finding just that little bit more range of motion. And then turn your hands up. So maybe if you need to, you drop the arms after this one, give them a little shake out, allow some breaths to soften them down. We're going to take the arms back out, moving through the shoulders. Inhale, curl the fingers in, touch your shoulders. Exhale, take the arms out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. try to keep the elbows up a little bit if you can. Explore through which parts of your arms are working, which parts are moving forward and backwards. Exhale out. 2 more times. Adding a bit on, this time inhale, curl the fingers in, make fists, curl your hands in, touch your shoulders with your knuckles. Exhale, open the arms out and all the way out, pointing your fingers down towards the floor. Inhale, curl knuckles in, imagine you're showing off your guns, touch your shoulders. Exhale, elbows come forward, hands come down, pointing fingers down. Inhaling, exhaling. Fingers on roll, point down. Inhale, pull the fingers in, the wrists in again. As you pull these knuckles in, almost like you're showing off your gums, feel the pull through the wrist. And then exhale, point the elbows back to the front of the mat. Roll the fingers out in front of you and down towards the ground. Just lengthen the arms out. One more time through this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. As they come in this time, we take a slightly different movement. Inhale, roll fingers, wrists in, touch shoulders. Exhale, elbows drop down by your side. Inhale, arms come up behind you. Exhale, roll those elbows forward, down in front of you, down by your side. Inhale, up behind you. Exhale, down in front of you. So rolling through the shoulder girdle. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhaling. Keep those knuckles pulling through. Exhaling. Final time. And as you reach the bottom, stay there. We'll take it back the opposite direction. Inhale, the elbows come out in front. Brush the ears. Roll them back down behind you. Inhaling. Two more times after this one. Final one. And release those hands down. Take the fingers and give them a little interlink and roll out both directions. Hopefully the backs of your hands and wrists feel like they've had a good pull. Bring the hands down through heart center briefly as you exhale. Push the palms so they come away. The fingers stay together, but the palms move away. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Bring the hands onto the knees. Gently allow, so just try to sit as tall as you can. So you're sitting upright and then try to imagine you're pushing the back of your head backwards a little bit. So not like this, you're just trying to lift and push that up to the ridge. Imagine your hand is there or walls behind you. And then gently allow your right ear to drop towards your right shoulder. Allow your left hand to walk off your leg as you inhale. Exhale, turn your left hand palm to face up and notice how it changes the pull through your neck and shoulder. Inhale, turn that hand all the way back through to face, almost as if you're turning it to face towards the sky, the palm. Exhale, roll it all the way back through, palm facing up. Inhale, left hand to left knee. left ear to left shoulder as the right hand comes off the side. You walk the fingertips out, feel a pull down through the shoulder, through the arm. Exhale, turn that palm to face up. Inhale, roll that palm all the way through. Feel an internal rotation of the shoulder. Palm tries to face up in a funky way. Exhale, you roll back through, palm face up. Inhale, hand onto knee. Inhale, begin to look up towards the sky, but keep trying to feel as if you're pushing your occipital ribs, that lumpy bit at the back of your head. You're trying to imagine that's going back to lengthen your spine as you lift your chin up. Feel a pull down through the front of the body. Exhale, keep that back of the head pushing backwards as the neck drops down to feel a pull through the back of the body. Inhale, look back up one more time. Exhale, slowly drop that chin back down. Inhale, sitting back to neutral. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, over the left shoulder. Again, you're not trying to force anything. You're not trying to do, as Bernie Clark always says, your Linda Blair impression. Inhale, come back to breath center. If any of you don't know that is, that's the woman from The Exorcist. She did her head in 360 degrees. Don't need to do that. Inhale, go right. Exhale, come back to center. Final time over towards the left. Good. Just trying to bring that twist into the whole of our body a little bit now. As you inhale, look towards the right. Walk your right hand down behind you. Bring your left hand to your knee. Gently twist towards the right. You exhale, come back through center. Inhale, look left. Bring the hands to opposite knee.